Welcome back to Race Mountain Speedway. It's time to get started with the Porsche Summer Tournament here on the 3D Botmaker Diecast Racing League. Let's go ahead and take a look at our first heat of drivers. Up first in the pole position in today's race is 8000 Power, driving in the Porsche 911 GT3 Cup. He'll be driving for the Hot Wheel Racer Mike team. Next to him is J-Dean 439, driving in the red Porsche Carrera. He's also driving for Hot Wheel Racer Mike. Going back to the second row, we have League of Speed driving the Porsche 959. This car is sponsored by Guitarded and Broke. Next to him in the blue Porsche Panamera is Oreste D'Amore. He will be the third driver in this heat for Hot Wheel Racer Mike. Going back to the third row, we have Andrew Nixon driving the Porsche 911 GT3 RS. He'll be driving for our Canadian sponsor, 4114 Diecast Racing. We've got Carl Hoffmans driving in the black and red Porsche 918 Spyder. Hoffmans will be driving for the 3D Botmaker Racing team. And finally, starting off all the way in the back, it's the Ponkist driving in the Porsche 917 LH. The Ponkist will be the second driver in this heat for the 3D Botmaker Racing team. The drives are at the start. This will be a 4-lap race. The top 3 will advance on to the semi-final round. Here they go coming down the start ramp. They're all bunched up around the turn. J-Dean makes contact with 8000 Power. Both cars lose control. J-Dean bouncing all over the place. And 8000 Power will maintain his lead going into lap 2. Somehow J-Dean 439 is still in second place. He was all over the track down there. You can see right here his car gets lifted up in the air, along with that Porsche 917. 8000 Power and J-Dean will be leading them down in lap 2. A lot of pushing and shoving going on there. Lots of contact as they come around turn 1. J-Dean 439 bouncing around like a pinball machine, and Andrew Nixon makes a pass. He's going in reverse, and he will be leading us into lap 3. J-Dean 439 still maintaining that second place position. We've got a caution out on the track, and it's going to be the Ponkist in the Porsche 917 LH. 8000 Power falls back to third place. Andrew Nixon with an early lead going into turn 1. He's way down the track, a big gap between him and the rest of the pack. And Andrew Nixon will be leading us going into the 4th and final lap. He's in that white Porsche 911 GT3 RS. 8000 Power makes a last-second pass, giving him the second place position as J-Dean 439 falls back to 4th place. Here we go, this is the 4th and final lap. The top 3 drivers will advance on to the semi-final round. Andrew Nixon in the lead, but he had some control issues. Not quite enough speed on turn 2. J-Dean 439 passes, and they all get tangled up in the merger. Whoa, we've got a big car pileup down here at the bottom of the track. These guys do not know how to use their brakes. Carl Hoffman's getting left behind in that 918 Spyder. It was probably a good thing that he didn't get involved in that wreck. We're going to have to restart the 4th lap. The drivers will be starting in the position that they are on the track right now. That puts Andrew Nixon and J-Dean 439 in the front row. Andrew Nixon getting sideways in front of the rest of the cars. Lots of contact, the caution is out. Right now it's just Andrew Nixon and J-Dean 439. That will be your first and second place. But we do not have a third place. That means the remaining drivers are going to have to go again. The Ponkist is on his roof along with 8000 Power. Both of those drivers are going to go to the back. Let's see what happened. 8000 Power getting knocked over there going into the first turn, and the Ponkist getting flipped over coming out of it. That's going to put League of Speed and Oreste D'Amore in the front row. We haven't seen anything from either of those two drivers, but both of them have a good chance here at going on to the semi-final round. Here they go, only room for one more car to go on to the semi-finals. Oreste D'Amore, way down the track. Wow, it looks like that Porsche Panamera really had some power. I guess he was just waiting for the right time to use it. Here he comes to the finish line. Some beautiful drifting action right there. And here are your top 3 from the first heat. Andrew Nixon driving for 4114 Diecast Racing, J-Dean 439, and Oreste D'Amore both driving for Hot Wheel Racer Mike. Don't go anywhere, we still got more racing today. Round 1 Heat 2 will be right after the break. Welcome back to Race Mountain Speedway for the Porsche Summer Tournament. Let's go ahead and get started with Heat 2 of Round 1 as we take a look at the drivers. Up first, driving the red Porsche 959 is Mr. Dan and Harry. They'll be driving for the Bayou City Diecast Raceplex. Next to them in the second position is Jim. Jim will be driving the Porsche 934 Turbo RSR. He'll be driving for Hot Wheel Racer Mike. Going to the second row, we have Mr. Moms Racing driving the Porsche 911 Turbo. This one is a Matchbox that was sponsored by Guitarded and Broke. Then we have Red Stussy driving the blue Porsche Boxster Spyder. He'll be driving for the 3D Botmaker Racing Team. And going to the back row, we have Scott Gasparic. He'll be driving in that Zamac Porsche Carrera GT. This car was sponsored by Michael's Diecast Garage. And next to him is another Porsche Carrera GT. This one is driven by MJY5, the racing gamer. He'll be driving for Redline Salvage Inc. The drivers are at the start for this 4-lap race. Here we go with Round 1, Heat 2. Jim L is off to an early lead. Red Stussy makes a pass around that first turn. He's really got some distance here between him and the rest of the pack. Loses control there, he's going in reverse. And Red Stussy will be leading going into the second lap. He was followed by Mr. Moms Racing and MJY5, the racing gamer. Scott Gasparic getting stuck over on turn 2. Meanwhile, Mr. Dan and Harry having some trouble with their vehicle. They didn't even make it down half the track. Red Stussy and Mr. Moms Racing will be leading us down in lap 2. MJY5 pushing on the inside and he takes the lead. That Porsche Carrera GT really has some speed. Very clean racing from MJY5, the racing gamer. And there's Red Stussy coming in second, followed by Scott Gasparic. We've got 3 cars stuck over on turn 1. Mr. Moms Racing, Jim, and Mr. Dan and Harry. MJY5, the racing gamer, and Red Stussy will be leading us down in lap 3. MJY5 pulls way ahead. He's all by himself going into turn 2. The caution is out, but man, that Porsche Carrera GT is ridiculously fast. That car was sponsored by Redline Salvage Inc., and yes, it does have faster than ever wheels. And that's not good. Mr. Moms Racing upside down on the track. Meanwhile, something seems to be seriously wrong with Mr. Dan and Harry's car. They didn't even make it around turn 1 that time. MJY5 and Scott Gasparic will be leading us down in the 4th and final lap. Keep in mind, only the top 3 will advance on to the semifinals. Just look at MJY5, the racing gamer. My goodness, that car is fast. Meanwhile, these drivers are having a demolition derby or playing bumper cars. All that messing around on the track, and they did not pass the finish line. That means they're going to have to race again. MJY5, the racing gamer, takes the checkered flag, but we still need a 2nd and 3rd place to fill those spots in the semifinals. Here they go. Jim L is out in the lead. He's followed by Scott and Red Stussy. Red Stussy pulling ahead, he's in 2nd place. Scott Gasparic passes on the outside. What is up with these drivers? Jim slams into the side of that Carrera, and it'll be Jim and Mr. Moms Racing advancing on to the semifinal round. I don't know what's going on with these drivers today. Either they need to tighten up their suspension or put down the bottle before they race, because they're just bouncing around all over the place. A tough break for Scott Gasparic. He was leading coming out of 2, but completely lost control of his car. And there you have the top 3 from Heat 2. MJY5 driving for Redline Salvage Inc., Jim driving for Hot Wheel Racer Mike, and Mr. Moms Racing driving for Guitarded and Broke. There's a look at the bracket going into the semifinals. It should be a good matchup to see MJY5, the racing gamer, driving that Carrera GT against Andrew Nixon in the Porsche 911. Coming up next is Heats 3 and 4 in Round 1 of the Porsche Summer Tournament. So make sure you keep it tuned right here on the 3D Botmaker Diecast Racing League.